Sakandati pindirai mambo, pindirai Mari. Sakandati pindirai mambo.
Masorase muri Zimbabwe, and thank you for joining us on Nehanda TV. Zitarangu ndoitwa Lance Guma. Today we are honored to have gospel musician Fungisai Zvakavapano Mashavave. Thank you for joining us, Fungisai.
Thank you very much, Lance. Makali muri Zimbabwe.
Now, the last time I interviewed you was almost 4 years ago. You'd come over to the United Kingdom for another series of shows. You are back after quite an absence. What's new since these 4 years have gone by?
Now they say wine matures with time. So I believe I have developed over the years. And I have also released an album by the name Wenyasha Ndewe Nyasha. Ndichiri kungoimba zvandaita, praise and worship. Yeah, and I'm still loving the Lord.
We hear, actually we've just done an article on it on our website, that on this particular show the new Green Arrows are going to be backing you. How did that come about? We've
always been a family. Unaona pandaka where last year, and okay, that other time. I worked with Aaron, and Taku has always been my drama, kumba.
Okay.
Drama. So
there's nothing new about the new Green Arrows here.
I think they are new as Green Arrows to you guys, but to me,
okay,
they are people I've always worked with.
Okay. So, new album, new material. How are you going to structure your shows? Because people will say, are you going to be having my shows where you're just doing your new material or just sanganisi?
Obviously, the show is about bringing back the memories. Time ya reba. And music is one of those things that ukaridza, unorangaridzwa kwawakabva. And so, at the end of the day, I will make it about music yangu yese kwandakabva, and yes, here and there I can throw in something new. Obviously, I will not live kwedu Zimbabwe tinofara.
I watched you do a little impromptu performance here at the Upper View Ministries. I was intrigued ne dance and and you know, we have this stereotype gospel is boring, is all serious, and you know, but that was kind of a lively routine, very entertaining. You know, it kind of inspiring. I mean, it got me off my chair. Talk us through that. Is this how you perform Mashozako and have all those routines?
I believe with gospel music, I find it boring. You know, as children of God, we should praise and worship. We should rejoice in the house of the Lord. And rejoicing, you know, sanganisa kutamba, you know, kufara, kuchifarira mali. So dancing is a part of me. I mean, you can't take that away from arts. Because as an artist, you've got to package your music in a way that's acceptable to your target audience. So you find kuti vanhu vanoda kutamba, vanhu vanoda kufara. So at the end of the day, kuvabata moyo yavo, kunofanwa kuenda kwavari nezvinhu zvavanofarira. And I've taken it upon myself that as I perform, vanhu ngavatambire Mwari, vanhu ngavafarire Mwari.
A few months ago, we had an interview with Sulumani Chimbetu, and he was bemoaning the scourge of piracy, saying, you know, they've almost given up the fight against piracy, and Ramanima live shows. I mean, as a gospel singer yourself, I know it's slightly different from what Sulu does, but are you encountering similar problems?
There are two sides to a coin, and it depends on how you want to see it. I know that piracy has been a disadvantage in terms of, as in financially, yeah. But at the end of the day, you have to look on at the brighter side of things. Kuti, whilst people are pirating, And I want to understand what is because our namari they cannot afford, or probably is too expensive or what have you. But what I like about it is it shows that they love your music. So for me, I take advantage of the popularity that piracy brings for you. And then you have to look at things like maybe venturing into fashion designing like I do. I have a fashion label by the name House of Nasia. And when they have not bought your music, the fact that they know that you are there and they continue playing your music makes you relevant in as much that you can then venture into other things, riding on that popularity that you have.
I mean, almost similar. I mean, we had an interview near this dancer singer Anonzi JC, echoing similar things. You actually they sell, they offer their music free online, and they make their money kuma live shows. So
Yes.
in a way, it's free promotion.
It is, and the more people play you in their homes, the more you are invited to my live performances, be it my national events and some even my regional events, because people know your music. I think it's an advantage. I would want to say, I've done a song in Onzi. Panone kwa rufu, ona upenu. Panone kwa namu, ona rugari. Vachiona rima, ona chiedza. So it depends on how you want to look at it and how you want to take advantage of your situation and bring the best out of it. Zimbabweans are known for, turning things around.
Every cloud is a silver lining.
That's true.
You talked about a fashion label. I'm intrigued by that. What inspired you to go into fashion?
I think, having been an artist, I believe that artists have got the power to create. And be it music, you can create music, you can create artifacts, you can create even fashion. And I love my stage, and I want to just be unique on stage. Saka, my fashion label is inspired by how I want to dress. So you find usually my functions dresses, and it's supposed they're inspired by how I want to look on stage.
And I'm sure there are people watching this interview right now who will say, how do we get this?
Yeah, I've actually brought some with me. I've plenty.
Okay.
I'm sure I'm going to be auctioning some of them. The fundraiser for the Vulnerable Women Development Trust that I founded sometime last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to get to that also, because I noticed in addition to that you are also a member of the National AIDS Council, is it?
Yes, I understand, or rather I believe that it is my duty as a woman to address issues that have to do with HIV and AIDS, because it affects women mostly, and when women are affected, the whole nation at the end of the day will then get affected. So I play a role as a woman, and I advocate for HIV and AIDS issues. And I also have a passion to work with women and children. That's why you find that that Vulnerable Women Development Trust. Yeah.
You've been doing this for such a long time, over 13 years. Does it get tiring? Or it's something what drives you? What keeps you driving you after all these years?
Kuimba is like breath. I can't do without music. I really can't do. And I think music is a necessary part of life. That's why you find Kanapari parufu, I mean where we come from in Zimbabwe, parufu, which is vanhu vanoimba. Party, vanhu vanoimba. Be it a wedding, vanhu vanoimba. Be it a political gathering or what have you. Everything is driven by music. So for me, music is like my life stream. Like it runs in me, and it's a part of me. You can't really separate me from music.
A bit of a controversial question, my next one. Not to sound too negative, but when you started singing, you were called Fungisai Zvakavapano. You then got married. Fungisai Zvakavapano Mashavave. As an artist, does it dilute your brand when you have to add another surname? Do you think you might lose people who will not recognize you? And some will say in the worst case scenario, what happens if you get divorced? You will not say Zita. Are those daily issues that you have to juggle as an artist? I mean, what's your attitude towards Nyayema surname?
Technically, I believe Kuti, and where I come from, we believe Kuti, once a person has been married, technically you change your surname. And as a result, I call myself Fungisai Mashavave. That's my name. But then, my audience, or rather my fans, they refer to me as Fungisai Zvakavapano, because Fungisai Zvakavapano is the brand name. It's like it represents the brand for the music, because that is how I am known in the music circles. But however, it does not change my name, which is now Fungisai Mashavave. And that's why you find Kuti, then it mostly people use a double barrel. But Fungisai Zvakavapano is a brand. If it wasn't a brand, I'm sure people would be comfortable with calling me Fungisai Mashavave. But then they have to, distinct. They have to bring that okay, fine.
Distinction.
Yeah. They have to bring that distinction. They have to distinguish between any other Fungisai in the music circles. And the only way they can do that is by specifying that this one is the Zvakavapano one.
So you have a new album out, Wenyasha Ndewe Nyasha. What's the motivation behind that title?
It's my belief, if you are favored by God, there's nothing nobody can do about it. If you have a calling, it cannot be changed. So I believe that Ndewe Nyasha, it's like the grace of God is upon me, and there's nothing I can do about it, and there's nothing nobody can do about it. I'll continue to sing and praise God no matter what.
Wenyasha Ndewe Nyasha.
Yes.
Okay. Often times when we are writing articles, we refer to someone as gospel diva. How comfortable are you with such a title? Would you accept being called a diva? Because sometimes when the word is used, it connotes Munari, a diva. Is Fungisai comfortable being called a gospel diva?
Trust me, I've never looked into the dictionary to see what is that. But I have no choice what people. Okay, I have no choice as to.
How people would describe you?
Yeah, I have no choice. Because to someone, I'm a mother. My child can call me mama. What they see is a mother. But my mother calls me mwana, because that's what, and I know that I can be different things. As a woman, you've got to be so many virtuous things to different people at the same time. So it depends how somebody views me. And kutandu wana kupi.
Okay.
So I don't mind.
Which brings me to my. I know. I mean,
there's nothing you can do about it.
This brings me to my final question for you, Fungisai. How do you feel when there's a negative article about you in the media, whether it's TV, radio, or by internet? How does that make you feel? How do you deal with such things?
Hey, sometimes you have to tell yourself that you are strong. but it's not easy. I'll tell you, it's not an easy road. There are some times that you feel like you regret, sometimes you feel like you have ventured into the wrong trade. Sometimes you just feel like, I want my privacy, but once you are an artist like me, you cannot have that anymore, and it's something that you have to come into terms with, but it's not a piece of cake. Yeah, it's not.
Well, Zimbabwe, we would like to thank Fungisai Zvakavapano Mashavave for joining us on Nehanda TV. Fungisai, thank you so much for your time, and we hope the show is a success. Or the shows are a success. It's several shows in the UK.
I'm honored. Thank you, sir.
Pindirai Mwari, sakandati pindirai mambo. Pindirai Mwari, sakandati pindirai mambo.